to me. We'll try this, huh? All right, welcome. Welcome to class, everybody. Welcome to anybody that's online or watching this later. Thank you for coming for Tech for Life. We're going to jump in. I don't. I wish I had a teleprompter. It'd be a lot easier. But let's go through some of the announcements here. We've got, our helpers. We talked about that already. If you have any questions about what's going on at our church, you know the website. Nelson, do you use this already? The westparkbaptist.org?
I do.
Okay.
I'm not all the time.
Okay. Have you done anything with connections yet? Okay. We'll work on that too.
They usually give it to you over here. What they do, what they teach in this size.
Oh, at the church?
Yeah.
Oh, right now we have a lot of different leadership classes that are on. Stacy, can you, do you remember anything of the new 7 ones that just launched last Sunday?
There's going to be a new one that starts in March with Pastor Sam's teaching on prayer.
Yes.
I remember that, so I want to go to it.
Thank you so much. That's the one I was wanting to, yeah. But we have some training classes on Sunday mornings at 9:15 is when we meet for that. And then we have a service at 10:30. Yeah, that's right. The one in the James Lynch's is on the Old Testament. Yeah, he's great too on that.
And there's the one that Mickey Sims is teaching.
And he teaches that at the Upper Fellowship Hall, the big one at the end on the left building. What is he teaching? Do you remember?
He is teaching about, let me see, I can't remember how to explain it, about your testimony and sharing with other people, being able to speak to them.
Right. So they're called, I think they're called equipping classes, is what they call.
I can't remember what it's called. But
So,
that is good.
just as an example, I'll bring this up here. We'll go back here and show you how I got to it. Basically, when we go to that website, the westparkbaptist.org, we come up here under ministries and go to adults, and there are equipping classes right there. And then it tells you what they are. It has a little video from our associate pastor. There we go. So we have family track, engaging the world, sharing your faith with non-Christians. That's Mickey's?
Yes.
Okay. And then the basic tracks focus on the basics of a Christian life, if it's new to you, or if you want a refresher, right? A good solid foundation. The theology track is a really good one too, helping you understand and explain and apply Christian beliefs to your life.
Things are online.
These are the things that are in the church right now. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
So
you actually attend that.
you can, yes. They meet on Sunday mornings, and you can choose one that interests you, and you can change them at any time you want to. So you don't have to register and go to all of them like that. But after those classes, that's typically what I would call Sunday school, right? What I grew up with. But that's what they call them during this time is equipping classes, trying to prepare people to grow the church and have a solid foundation of Christian life and basic understanding. So, especially after COVID, everybody's at home so much, trying to reestablish that foundation like that. But that's how I got to it, was just ministries, adults, equipping classes. But they also have it for different things too. There are different things. There's mom's chair, there's women's, the men's. Senior adults has a lot of things that go on under James Lynch. In fact, we're going to talk about one of those luncheons that's coming up with the mission outreach that's coming up this week. This next week, we don't have any class, right? Next Thursday, because the whole week is set aside for our mission outreach. It's how we come together for a conference for our missions. Yeah, community groups are something that you can get involved in on different days. It helps develop closer friendships at church is what it can do. There are different places we can contact. It says Patrick Hobbs. I believe he's in charge of that, but they may have changed it just now. But when you ask, when you contact through here, it'll help you find a group if you want to get into a Bible study that's of a close-knit group. It's kind of like what we do with Sam. Yeah. So what I wanted to show you also was the missions conference that's coming up. And that's what this February 27th through the 6th is. We're actually going to have some of our international missionaries, come and talk to us and tell us how their missions are going around the world, especially with everything that COVID has done. It's shut down so many things. We've lost a lot of family and friends maybe around the world. And so the topic is unfinished. It's that we're going to continue that ministry that is unfinished, of the good news, telling people the good news of God. So that's their tagline, which is I love, is come to hear and celebrate how people are coming to know Jesus through the ministry supported at West Park. So I think right here, I got the things that are going on. It's like Sunday, and then the next Sunday, there are some things going on, right? So some of them you have to register for, like the men's breakfast and the family meal. That's one of the favorite times for our church to come together, is the mission dinner. It's one of the best times we get together and do a huge group together. But we're going to have David Woodard, the Vice President of Global Operations at ABWE, and then that's during this Sunday. He's going to preach that day. That's okay. We'll go ahead and silence those, huh? And then on the evening service, Gary and Marty Crawford are going to tell us about their ministry in the Caribbean, which sounds interesting. I really want to hear them speak about that. Tuesday, the senior adult lunch is what I was telling you about, Nelson, at 11:30. Dave and Debbie Woodard, and I can't remember where they were at, but I know their names. I can't remember where they were serving, but they're going to tell us about their mission work there too. Then Wednesday night at 6:30 at the Hub, the missionary father and son of George and William Romeros from Greece. It's where Pastor Sam is.
He spoke to us on Sunday.
That's right. He's been here a few times, and it's amazing to hear him talk about spreading the gospel.
About unscreen ambassadors.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of remember him.
Right.
He was really impressive.
It's amazing how many people were fleeing to Greece. A lot of Muslims that were going through their ministry, and they could talk to them openly about Christ. It was just amazing to hear it. Yeah.
Another exodus. Now with
That's
the
right.
Ukraine incident.
Yeah, there really is. Yeah, there's a lot of prayer for that too. And then that Saturday we're going to have a men's breakfast, and it's going to be David Woodard, Gary Crawford, and George Romeo discussing about investments in other men around their ministries too. And then of course Sunday at church, Paul Davis, the president of ABWE, is going to preach there, and then that night is the family missions dinner, the very end celebration type thing, where we get together and we're going to have a chance to honor our global partners all around the world. So we're going to highlight all their missions and kind of celebrate that. So just nice that we have people that are called by God to go and share that good news anywhere in the world that they're led to. That's what my family did when I was very little, and so I have a heart for missions. It makes me want to keep doing and keep helping people to serve Him that way. So that's this next week. So we won't have any class on Thursday. We're just free. That way you have a some night off, right? Yep. And then also to remind you, we won't have Tech Help Saturday. That 5th. We'll have it the second Saturday, the 12th. It's part of that too. So. All right, give you a little encouragement here. This is what we're talking about, becoming new in Christ, changing the channel, and being new. And 2 Corinthians 5:17 is, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, they are a new creation. The old has passed away and the new has come. And the great thing about that is that being a Christian, with God's help, we become a new creation. We become something new that we were never before, because it requires a change to become a Christian when we turn to follow Christ as a disciple, right? It requires a change from the old ways to the new ways. And we don't know them all to begin with, but we start learning them, and we start following them when we learn them. God helps us remove those old habits, right? And He helps us develop new ones, right? And that's about the only thing I've been able to do, is by changing that channel. God's the one who changes the channel for me, really. If I seek Him, He helps me do that. Bible principles help us to improve ourselves with faith, love, repentance, forgiveness, Bible study, prayer, avoiding temptation, and patience with others. It allows us to show a better way to others and give them hope in Christ through love of others and in a gentle and a respectful way. Even when the world's not so gentle and respectful towards us, it gives us a way to do that. God is good that way. But His Word, God's Word, is the best source of guidance for self-help and motivation for self-improvement that I've ever experienced. There's another verse that goes along with that. When I was looking for these verses about becoming new, being new, Ephesians 4:22 through 24 was awesome because it talks about the actions. Put off, be renewed, and put on, right? So in 22 it says to put off your old self, which belongs to your former manner of life and is corrupt through deceitful desires, and to be renewed, refreshed, become new in the spirit of your minds, and to put on the new self, created after the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness. It's a new way of doing things, and it's a whole different life is what it becomes. So I hope that can encourage you for this next week too, especially through missions and hearing how they're helping other people learn that, to hear that good news that there's a better way. So let's thank God for that and go on here and let's learn, see what we can do. If you're on one of our computers, you'll need to log in. You remember this one about logging in? Go ahead and power up your computer then. Is it? Oh, you did it for him? It's already on? Okay. So just so you know.
Flags here too.
Yeah, what's that?
I had a couple things.
Oh, popped up? Yeah.
One is Adobe, when we do something there.
You can actually, just hit the X on the upper right hand corner.
Oh,
Yeah. So,
yeah, okay.
yep.
What's this one?
You can close that too. It's the notifications. In fact, you know what I think?
It just popped
Here's what I'm
up.
going to do. On notifications, let's just change them to, if it'll let me here. Oh, there it is. I'm bouncing it back and forth now. Expand, focus. There you go. So it's only going to give us privacy. I don't know why we didn't do that before. We should turn that on all of them. Focus mode.
I tried to turn off all of those notifications.
Oh, did you? Okay. This will not be on yours. This is only on our laptops. Yeah, so you're ready to go. You're good to go. Yeah. And that's actually, we'll move on to something to do on the laptop very quickly here, actually. If you know how to sign into Gmail, go ahead and sign into Gmail on your accounts, and we're going to practice with those. So I'm going to do that here with mine also. If I can get in here. Let's see here. Gmail.
Down at the bottom, right down there at the bottom where the Q is.
I'll see.
You can open up any browser that you want to, right? You've got Chrome open, I think. Yeah.
Here, still there.
Excuse me,
Uh-huh.
use this one over here
Gmail
in
address.
Google and say, choose an account that I did the,
Gmail.com.
Thank you, gmail.com.
Uh-huh. What's that? Actually, mine's going to come in.
put the email and look for the account.
That's yours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you're going to use, and you're going to sign in with your password there. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, sign in with that. If you need to, is there somebody else logged in? I'm going to do it this way. Add another account. There we go.
That's why.
Yeah, that should still do everything slow. Am I connected?
It may be updating because it hasn't been on for a while. There we go.
You may or may not have like, I hope she's doing.
What's that?
He's put on here,
I hope it's this one.
Ray, see the little tiger, whatever it is.
Huh. Oh, that's why. Ha! They added some, that's funny. Okay. There we go. Is it updating?
It's asking me if I'd like to open Firefox through Internet Explorer.
Nice.
what does she want to do? When I,
What's that?
because I don't have any strain in my hands.
Oh, do you need some help? Are you doing okay? Okay.
Still making.
Yeah, you're still spinning around there.
Hmm.
Oh, the TV, they say it's not.
Oh, it's not going to let me do that. Wow. Okay.
We're still in it.
Still logging in? Me too. Isn't that funny?
There it is. It's on Firefox. Okay.
There we go. Whoopsie.
Eventually it will stop moving. Why does it want to pull this up? Oh, because I hit that before. I'm gonna clear these off so it moves faster for you. I have deeply confused it.
Okay. So I got my example logged in here.
Now.
Anybody else?
But something is here very funny.
Something's funny?
We work on that verify.
Okay, now there
Oh, really?
How it belongs to
Now you
the.
can type in the Gmail.
Okay.
By Edwards?
You would type in, is it gmail.com? And it takes you up to so that you can log in? Yes.
So I'm gonna hit
Type in,
right here.
yeah,
Really, all you do is click that.
yes. That'll work.
There we go.
Now what do I do?
Now we wait for it to stop moving so that it brings up the image.
Okay. So bring this up here and help you sign in there.
Like a blank one so that you can
There
log
we go.
to yours. Or like a.
There we
sign
go.
so that you can log in. Eventually. Like sometimes. Is it thinking? It's just.
That's not it. Why am I doing that?
Gmail address there, is that what I do?
Uh-oh.
Actually, it should bring up
What did
the
I do?
sign-in for you.
Data entry?
Oh, it's circling. Oh, it's circling. Okay.
We're in the wrong lesson there, Stefan. What did I do? Did I get rid of it? Okay. Pull it open. We'll get it here. There we go. Email essentials. There we go. I'm slow, but I get there too, don't I?
Well, it's okay. You still beat us. It's really.
Yeah, but I had mine pulled up already. That's the sad part. I was already ready to go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Our computer is not nice.
Do we need to swap it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Me, it's slow.
It's still circling the drain.
Huh. And you hit Gmail already? It says, okay.
Gmail.
Yeah, see how it's saying accounts at google.com.
Quit circling,
Okay.
quit circling.
Yeah, let's try that one. Let's make a note of that number there. So it says, oh, okay. Daniela, okay.
I don't know what happened when I changed that. I used to have this other one, remember at the beginning when,
Okay.
I don't know why. They deleted
So
it. I had this one before, look,
you can get to it still?
this one. I used to have this one first.
Okay. So which one, you can use either one?
No.
Which one do you want to use?
I think I can use this one, let's put a number.
Okay, it's trying to recover the other account using this one. See, account recovery is what it's trying to do. So enter last password you remember using with this one.
No,
Do you remember the password?
no, I was looking for, I could find this one.
That is what you think it is?
Yeah.
That? And did you already hit next? You did?
No.
Okay. Okay. So can you enter the answer for that and type it in the exact way you would have,
I don't know, 'cause I never have a dog.
You never did?
No.
That's what was put in to remember it, though.
My memory, you better don't get
Okay.
old.
Let me try another way, maybe.
Yeah.
Can you access it on the phone? Does it already have the email on there that you can get?
No, because I was looking for.
Okay, so we can't verify that this belongs to you, so. Can we try this one?
Let me see.
Is this on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, so we should be able to get into this one. And is this the, is that the right one for this one?
Let me see. 40, 50 pesos. This is the number, the one, no, that number, sorry.
Is that right, or?
Let me see. Let me, because. You say you don't want the student just like me, but I don't know. Okay, let's see to show this one. Okay.
We'll try it?
Yeah, so.
Okay.
next.
Wrong password, okay. So say, forgot password. This is the last one you remember using this one? Do you remember if it's that?
Yeah, I put it to Gustavo.
Oh, you know it should be something else?
What do you say? What is it? Number, yeah. Okay, let's see. If you see.
So that's the last one you remember using with it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, if it's one of them, then, okay, there you go. There we go, awesome. Is this the last 2 digits of your phone number?
Which was,
68?
yeah,
Okay. So type the number in there with the area code.
okay.
Oops, it's missed it here, yeah. 865?
Yes,
Okay.
384
384
28
28
68.
68. Okay. We'll hit send, and it's going to send you a message. So look on your phone here, and then I'll type in the message that it sends you. There it is. 904. Ooh, it went away.
It's the computer, maybe since it did fall down for you. Yeah.
There we go. So now it's going to ask us for a new password. So what new strong password would you like to use?
Okay, I want to use,
Anything that's not a dictionary word is best.
let me see,
Okay, should be coming around.
Hey, James,
today is,
mute my audio for a second there, please. We good? Got good signal? Awesome. Thank you for your patience, folks, while we logged everybody in here. We're going to pick up now with email essentials. A lot of the communication that we do will be through emails. Our announcements come out that way for each class, and typically I'll try to get it out the beginning of the week. If it's a busy week, you'll see it come in probably by Thursday. But I try to get it out early enough so that people can plan, check out the potluck sign up or the prayer request sheet that we have. And that's just for us internally to use, is what that is. It's not publicized anywhere out on the web. It's just in that little link that you can get to it that way. That way you can see what meal we're having and bring something if you want to, but you don't have to bring something. Feel free to bring your friend too if you want to, because it's always more fun when you can bring somebody. But as far as communication, that's the best way to do it with me, especially with my schedule changing like it has. I can follow up with it usually on my device, my cell phone, or when I get some free time, I can go through and catch up on those things. So it is one of the most basic forms of electronic communication that is a direct line to somebody that gives them the ability to solve something at their leisure, right, at their time when they can do it. And you can attach so many different things to it. It's better than a text message, right, because you can attach larger files to it, multiple pictures, things like that. I think that's all we're going to discuss about email right now, because we're just scratching the surface of it. We're going to cover the basics tonight, and you can ask some questions too, but we'll try to show you a couple power tips too as we go along. So as far as emails, what we're going to cover today is signing in, which we already did, right? We're going to talk about sending an email, reply versus reply all, which is very important when we send out bulk emails, forwarding messages, links versus attachments. There's two ways that you can send things. Special stuff and logging out, which is important when you're on a public computer, kind of like these right here. Even at home, sometimes if you want to keep your stuff safe, you'd like to log out of your email and log out of your system or lock your system. With signing in, what we just did, and I'll just go over it carefully for those online, we opened a browser, Chrome or whatever, and we went to gmail.com. That's in the space there, right? The address at the top. But number 3, we typed in our email address. And just so you know, since we're signing into Gmail, right, they know that they're gmail.com. So you don't have to type in your email address at gmail.com. You can leave that part off. You just use the first part of your email address before the @ symbol. And that'll save you some time in typing it in all the time. Then you click next, and that's why they changed it. It used to be username and password. Now they have it on a different screen to make it tougher for computers to hack those accounts. That's why we hit next now when we do that. A little note about passwords. We just talked about changing some passwords, using our passwords, and we're going to cover this in much more depth in our security lessons a few weeks from now. But just as we're going along, since we just had to do a password, these are things to think about because you'll be using more than one password. The most important one is going to be your email password, because everything you do centers around it. You get your bank emails there, you get your family communication there, all your accounts that you're a part of, any stores or anything like that, have accounts through that email. If somebody gets your email password, they can change all of that and lock you out of your life. That's why it's so important to protect that password for your email, right? You don't want to use it on any other site. That's what we talk about, using different passwords for different sites. And depending on the importance of it, you may have to have a strong password or one that doesn't even matter, right? It depends on the information that you're getting or storing on that website. So just a couple of tips from, I believe this is from the FBI actually, source maybe not, but this is one of the things that they recommend for creating strong passwords, no personal information. Anything can be learned about you by talking to you just for a few seconds, minutes, find out your names, find out your grandkids' names, things like that. And they can do it as easily as they can, right? They can find this information out and make you feel like you need to tell them that, right? Or if they go into your garbage and you don't even know that they've been there, they can pull out papers, which is why it's good to shred those papers, because they can find account information, other things like that they can dumpster dive. And that's old school hacking is what that is, right? So no personal information that can be found out like that. At least 8 characters. I'd say go at least 12 characters nowadays. The longer it is, the harder it is to crack, right? Include at least one of the following: an uppercase letter, a number, and a symbol, things like this, right? If the website lets you do them, most of them will let you do these symbols, right? And if you throw in a symbol, it makes it that much harder for a computer that's running a script, throwing thousands of passwords at it, trying to figure it out, to guess, right? Because a computer can run through 1,000 passwords like that, right? Because the computers are just talking to each other, right? Password no, password no, password no, password no, and it just keeps trying another one. Yeah?
This is a dumb question.
Not at all.
Yes, my bank uses 4 numbers
Oh, really?
for the ID code
Okay.
attached to my debit card.
Okay.
So when you put your debit card in the ATM,
Right.
and then they ask you the 4-digit
Right.
code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Cover that up too, as you're doing
yeah,
it.
but I mean, why are they still on 4 digits?
Why haven't they gone to something bigger?
Why don't they require us to have a longer code?
It probably has something to do with computers' abilities and the amount of transmission speed it took to send that information back to the computer company to verify it during a transaction. Because the goal is actually to create that transaction, verify the purchase in a second, less than a second, right?
So the follow-up question
Mm-hmm.
is, somebody intercepts your mail,
Uh-huh.
your bank statement,
Right.
and the account number is on the statement,
Right.
okay? And you only have 4 digits on your ATM. Does that mean that they can now access it with their computer?
They
Use your
can,
statement
they
number?
will use your statement and the address on there and try to pretend to be you to change things at the bank.
1001, is that what it is? Process for your PIN number?
Yeah, I'm not sure what methods they would use, but they would try to use that information with the bank to get things changed, right? And so there'd be other information attached to that account when you call, you verify it, and things like your social, right? If they use that as the minimum, the last 4 of your social, that's very easy to hack, right?
Yeah.
So they use other things. They have other things under your account that you look and you have to name certain things, like 3 security questions that we talked about just here, right? What are your security questions? Well, I never had a pet, right? Things like that. So on those answers, I won't use the real answer for those things because those can be mined also, right? Somebody could get, oh, we can find out his dog's name. Okay, good luck, because what I'll use is a code as a password also for that answer. So if it says, hey, what's your dog's name? Well, my dog's name is capital A, L, C, the number 3, £, comma, 89. When the security person on the phone asks me, say, can you tell me what your dog's name is? And I say, capital A, LC3, right? And the £, whatever, they know that I'm who I am because nobody else would name their dog that way, right?
Wow.
So it doesn't have to match, but you have to remember what it was, which is why documenting your passwords is important, and then keeping that in a safe place is extremely important. Right? So there's multiple things, layers of security, and in our security class we'll talk about a few more of those, like the 2-factor authentication, like how they confirm who you are by sending a text message to your cell phone. Well, unless somebody has spoofed your cell phone, then you're the only one that's going to get that text message. Right? So that's how you can increase your security, is by having 2 things: the login username and password, and the cell phone that gets the text message. So if you get messages on your phone saying, here's your Google number, you know somebody's trying to hack your account because you didn't request it, right? You didn't send that information right then. So there's a few things that we'll talk about in a couple weeks on that too, but these are all those basics that we want to start with, right? So don't use the same password for every account, a different password for everything. That way if they get the password and I use one password for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Yeah. So there's a movie that I like where that's the guy's password, and he has a smartphone that's talking to him. And she is she can't believe how stupid he is for that. He goes, oh yes, I'll put all your accounts on here. Can I have your username? Okay. And your password. And he says that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like it's a surprise somehow, right? And she's like, dumb, you know? He's like, what? What did you say to me? He says, no, that's just dumb, yeah. So don't use the same password for everything. Because if one website gets hacked and they get your username and password, they now have your password and username for every account that you would be in. So that's why using a separate password, even if it gets hacked on one website, they try to use that on the other one, it doesn't work because it's not the right password. So avoid dictionary words, because one of the first things that a hacker will do is you run through a list of known words trying to pass them up, and they'll run misspelled words even. They'll use hacker speak too, which is like replacing a letter with a number. So if they use, or a symbol, so if they use the word hacker, they'd use H, the @ symbol, CKER, right, or 3R, the E turned backwards. They'll run those kind of words too now. So it's not as safe misspelling them like we used to, but it's definitely much easier for them to figure it out if it's in a dictionary. So personal names are a hard one, but family names are worse because they can figure out the family names. Is that clear as far as what we're kind of looking for, basics? Right? Okay. And James, we're going to be running a little bit later on this one. So as far as sending an email, it's real simple. The steps that we're going to run to, there's only 5 that we're going to go through before we hit send, number 6, right? And so we'll just take a look at that real quick on your screen. If you go to the compose button in the bottom left-hand corner there, let's see if I can do this here. I'm just going to pull this down, minimize it. Right here, this is the compose button, upper left here. When we click on that, it's going to bring up in the bottom right-hand corner, which is funny, right? You can set this, but this is our new message, right? That's what it says down here, in fact. I wonder, is this the right size? I think I've changed my size on this. Let me check real quickly. If I can make this bigger, I will, but don't want to. I'll throw Jamesy back there. He'll freak out probably. Oh, yeah. Why is that so big? Is that right? Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. Oh. Did I just freak out your setting there, James? On the input for mine, is it okay? Or is it, do I still have a feed? Does it look like this on there? Okay, great. Okay. So, on my screen, I just made it as big as I could so you can see it, okay? So yours may still be in the bottom right-hand corner, which you can change with this little button right here. You know how we have the close, the bigger screen, and then the minimize? It works the same here like it does up here. So if you hit that little arrow that's kind of like this, it'll make it full size like this on your screen. And it makes it easier if you're addressing a really long email. I think what they're trying to get us used to is quick emails, right? Not sending a lot of things. But if you want to compose it, yeah, you can click on that and it'll get really big. And if you need to, you can make it go back down to that size. That one right there, yes. There you go. So now you've got a full size. And it says, yeah, click here to exit the full screen, or shift click to compose in a whole new window. So it's teaching you different methods as you go along. Those little pop-up balloons, teaching you a new way to do things, isn't it? So if you remember them or write them down, it will help you with that. Speaking of writing things down, did we hand out the email lesson last week?
No.
I didn't think we got to it. Yeah. So let's go. Yeah. We have a manual that we've started making, so it goes along with our presentation that you can put your own notes in, too, that'll help, hopefully. And we'll hand those out here. Oh, okay. Just got some more prayer requests. So I'm surprised at how many prayer requests we've been getting, actually. In one night, that's a lot of prayer requests. Okay. How special. Okay. All right, so our email, oops, sending an email. There's that, and that's the wrong one. There's my inbox. Okay. So, back and forth here. If this will go to the same side, that's funny. All right. There it is. Huh. There we go. I can slowly make things work, right? So the steps for sending an email actually pretty quick, right? The most important thing is going to happen in the body of the message, right? But as long as we get the other little things right, it'll make it easy to find them. You'll know who you're sending it to, and you can verify those things quickly just by looking in those areas. So we're going to look at those areas right now. We did the click compose, which we did right away, right? And then in the second spot, we're going to put in the email address of who we need the email to go to. And what I'd like you to do is send it to homework@Tech4Life, right? I'll just put that on here. It's H-O, homework. And we're going to get used to this, right? Hopefully this will work on this side. At Tech. And then we put these little minus symbol, right? That for life.com. That's how you can. So homework@Tech4Life.com is the to area, right? Yeah, for Tech4Life, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, you have to put .com or it doesn't know where to send it. And that's where it's important to get the whole address right. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you a shortcut from there too. Once you're done typing, it's just like we were talking about keyboard shortcuts the first class. It's okay. Here, we'll just do it like this. Yeah, sometimes it does that. We'll just take care of that. There we go. Homework.
I don't know why. I just do one and
It's okay. That's the keyboard too, remember? Yeah. So we'll just fix it one at a time and make sure. But that's what we're wanting to do. Is we want to make sure we got the right one there. Oops, I think I took that one out. There we go. Yeah.
for life.
And then .com, yeah. Did I do it? Okay, so now I'm going to show you a secret, okay? You can actually use a key on your keyboard to jump from each one of these fields. Okay, instead of moving the mouse and clicking in the different fields, it will jump to the next one automatically. It's called tab, right? So in the upper left-hand corner of your keyboard, you have the tab key. If you hit it once, watch where it goes on your screen. Tab. Yeah, this one right here is tab. Now watch, you tab and it'll go to subject now. So then hit that. Oops. There we go. So jump from homework down to there.
Oh, okay.
So we're ready to type. That way we don't have to move our mouse or take our hands off of our keyboard. We just keep typing, hit tab, and now we're in the subject, and the subject is important. A lot of people will forget the subject, but it's very important for having a conversation. Because email programs will keep the same subject together in emails. Because you get your emails in and out in different orders, right? This keeps it as a conversation for you. So then the subject name is very important. So even if it's simple, go ahead and name it something unique, right? And so we're just going to call this email homework. Whatever you want to put in there is fine with me, something you come up with that tells us what we're talking about. That way, if I see it's like something funny, I know it's not an emergency to look at, or urgent, call me soon. I know there's something wrong, maybe my phone's not working, right? And that's a good way to get a hold of me and remind me, hey, I can't get a hold of you, call me soon. It makes a difference, doesn't it? Yeah. And then when you're done with your subject, hit tab, and then you're ready to type the message, right? The body of your message. And email is not very formal, but it's important to follow a certain role, a greeting, the message, and then a salutation, a goodbye, right? And it can be as simple as the person's name or hey, right, comma. Because the nice thing is you already know who it's to up here. But if you have multiple people, you may want to address the group, right? But the message is the most important thing. So a lot of times, they say, hey, it's good to see you again. After the second reply and you're still going on, replying back and forth to each other, you don't have to say, hey, Bob, every time you write him back in that same string of messages. He knows who it is, you know who it is, you can just write the line, and that way it's just message, 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 message. Does that make sense? Yeah. But if it's a business thing, you may want to sign it that way.
I always have lots of questions.
Sure.
So up here, I got, that's two it's going to, right?
Yes.
Homework. But shouldn't it say subject in there?
It's one of those things that this company has decided to make it streamlined and clean looking, so it's less confusing. It said subject up there until you started typing. Does that make sense? Right? And then it went away. But you know that that's your subject line because of where it's located.
Yeah.
So if we do this,
And what about the recipient when he gets it?
when I do this, it'll be under subject, yeah.
Oh,
So it'll show up
show
under the
subject.
subject area,
Okay,
right?
all right.
So we all know that there's three things to an email message.
Yeah.
Who it's from, who it's to, right?
Right.
Second one is subject, and the other is the body. So those three things you'll always remember. It's going to be from somebody, the subject, and then the message that they sent. Or you're going to send something to somebody, the subject is about, and the message,
Gotcha.
right? So you see how it says it right there? And then when we type something in, it goes away.
How'd you
Hit
get that
tab.
back?
I just pasted it in.
Okay.
So I did paste, right? And then
Okay.
I do it again, paste. And this is back and forward. I'm going to undo, undo. See the little arrows left and right?
All right, you're confusing.
That's okay. You're doing fine.
One step at a time.
That's right. We're just going to learn a little bit, and then we're going to keep going. We're going to build on that. Christian, James, 0 in the meeting. Is that right? On your right-hand side, you have the meeting pulled up, the participants, just the 2 still? Okay, just checking. All right, so we're good. We're going to keep going, okay? Don't cut it at the time. Just follow my lead, okay? So we've hit tab to go to our subject. We typed our subject. We hit tab. Now we're in our message area. Go ahead and write a message. That's fine. And you're going to send it to me and Stacy, so it'll be easy for us to follow, I'm sure. So go ahead and just type a little message in there. And we talked about using cut, copy, and paste. Do you remember that from our first lessons? Probably not. We'll cover that again later. And then there's just one more thing to do, and we'll have sent a message. This is good for your muscles, isn't it? All right. That's okay. So you're at homework. We hit tab. Hello. There you go. Now, if you're done with that message and you don't want to see it anymore, this okay, got it, we'll get rid of it and we'll make it, oops. If I do the right side, there's left and right here. If I do this side, it'll go away.
Okay.
So then I can click here and you're ready to go, right? Hello. Yep. So just a simple message. Hello, or that's fine by itself. The last thing we got to do is number 6. We covered all those things. We hit compose. We put in an email address to our friend. We put a subject in. We're writing the message now. We can use this if we need to, but we don't need to right now. But the last thing to do is click that little blue send button. on there.
I wasn't here for the last meeting.
That's okay.
About cut, copy, paste.
Cut, copy, and paste. Okay. Well, let me show you about that on this email like I'm creating, because I'm doing the same thing here, right? I'm going to homework, oops, work at, oh no, not Gmail. What am I doing? There we go, that's funny. Notice how I put in the wrong email address? I'm just going to double click on that, and it's going to let me fix all that, just where I wanted to. I'm just going to, using the backspace button, goes this way, right? Delete pulls it from the other side. Backspace goes this way, delete goes to the other side. So I'm going to say homework at, there we go, tech-4-life.com. Hit tab, I'm going to say, now notice it stayed there to put in another email address, which I could use closed carbon copy or blind carbon copy if I wanted to. I just click on those little names in there while I'm in there. Yeah, you see how it's hidden on that right side? Very streamlined, very hidden. But you can click on it, and we can do that. In fact, I'll do that. I'll say, I'm going to send a carbon copy right there, and notice now it added a bump for me. So I can send that to somebody else, but it's not to them, it's just a copy to them to let them know I did this. So I'll send that to me. And this is where I can actually do the right thing there. Here we go. So I'm going to hit tab again, and it's ready to put in another email address, right? But I'm done, so I'm going to hit tab again. And now I'm in the subject line, and notice that these are like that. It shows where they're going, but it just shows all of them. It doesn't show where they're going. If I click in there, it will show me where they go to. See, it splits them out again. But I click in the subject, it smooths it up. It kind of just tries to streamline it and make it look nice, right? I'm going to say, yeah, here's my test email. We're going to call this 24 for the day, test email. I'm going to hit tab. I'm ready to type my message. Howdy, partner. There we go. And the $1 million question was what? What was the question before? Copy, paste, right. So cut, copy, and paste. Let's see here. I've got 3 important things in our lesson that we always want to learn about. Cut, copy, copy you, copy, and there we go. And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go back to the beginning, delete that. I'm going to use delete because it pulls it from the right-hand side. So I've got cut, copy, and paste, right? And I'm going to show you with the mouse. There's a keyboard method that you can use, shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts, and you can write this on your, anywhere in your messages that you want to, because this is what we're following through right now, is this. Right? We're actually talking about, there's our password one. It's not very long. We're just talking about sending an email right here. So top right is where we're at, in case you need a pen or anything. Do we have, I don't know if we have any pens. Amanda's got one. Nelson probably has one hidden somewhere in his pocket. So under this right here, cut, copy, and paste, I'm going to show you the mouse method for copying or cutting something, thank you, Stacy, and pasting it, okay? So the word cut, I'm going to cut it out of the document and move it, right? So watch this. I'm going to go down to here, I'm going to double click on it, right? We talked about that. Everything that I double click on, it highlights, right? Just that one word. Have you noticed that? Wherever I'm at, I can click in howdy, I can double click over partner, and it does that. Double click over howdy, it does that. And let me explain that.
I had a word in my message that I misspelled.
Okay. So to do that, you'd move the cursor with the mouse or the touchpad, right? You'd move it over to where you want to start that insert line, right? Because that's your cursor. That's where it's going to start typing. If you're off by 1 or 2, use your arrow keys, right? In the bottom right-hand corner of your laptop are the arrow keys. These are called the cursor control keys. So those arrows can move it over exactly where you want it. And you can either do it one way. Say I put in here a C instead, right? Hey, paster. Oh, I need to put partner, don't I? So if the cursor's on this side, I want to use backspace to delete it, right? Because it's to the left of the cursor. If it's on this side, right there, I want to get rid of the C with delete because it pulls it from the right-hand side. So that's the difference between backspace and delete. So I'm going to use delete here. It pulls away my C, and I type the T to fix it, and now I've got partner. So now it's better. It's fixed, right? So the other tip that we were using is double click and triple click of the mouse, right? I want to do the whole word because I want to cut this whole word out. Now there's a couple things I can do, right? We're going to talk about double click first, right? Because if I double click on the word, it highlights the whole thing, right? It even takes that space right after it. So it pulls it out and it cleans up the spacing between the words if I had multiple words, right? Double click. And this is what and that's the left key. So you have the left key and a right key. The left key is what they tell you to do unless they say right click this, right? So it's okay, you can try it again. So if I move the cursor, which is the mouse pointer, right, over here, if I can find it, there we go. So I've got my mouse, you see it going around, turns, it changes shape depending on what it's over. Every time it goes over text, it becomes that little I-beam. So if I double click while I'm over it, and that means holding it still, the mouse, while I double click. So all of our weight is not on the mouse, right? 95% of our weight is on our palm right here on the table. So as I'm moving it around, I'm only using 5% of my power to touch the mouse. It's very light. It doesn't have to be, so I can hold it in a place and it won't move, right? And then I use the mouse. I don't let go of the buttons on the top. I hold it over the left and right mouse buttons, and I just double click when I need to on the left mouse button. And the double click is a time thing. What's that?
It'll disappear.
No, it'll highlight that word that I'm over, right? So it makes a blue line, a copy highlight over it.
I've done that,
Okay,
but it did it the wrong way.
that's okay. Show me what you mean by the wrong way.
I did this.
Oh, you went backwards. So what you did was
Well, yeah.
click, drag.
I dragged.
Yeah, so that's another method for it. We're talking about the double click. If you hold the mouse over that word and double click, watch what happens. It's faster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to show you a power sequence. These are power tips, right? Okay. So you have double click, which is a time thing, right? This is click, this is double click. This is 2 single clicks. So it's important that you have the double click right next to each other, not because it's like that's not a double click. That's 2 single clicks, right? There's a triple click also, and watch what happens when I triple click over any of these words. Okay, watch what happens. I'm going to click away from it. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. It does the entire line.
Okay.
Is that cool? So it's called a paragraph highlight. So if you need to move an entire paragraph, instead of clicking and dragging and highlighting that whole thing, 3 tips, right? And that's what it is. It sounds like that. Yep. Double? Yeah, triple. So it's really powerful when you're trying to edit things. So especially like when I want to cut them. Now we're going to use those methods to cut, copy, and paste, right? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go, let's see here. Can I change this a little bigger? Actually, can I? There we go. Alphabet formatting. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Watch this. Oh, let's make them large. There we go. That'll make it easier to see. Okay. So I'm going to double click over cut. I'm going to use the right mouse button now. That's the power menu, right? Right mouse. Watch what happens when I use the right mouse over that blue highlighted word, right? It gives me this menu, which is different, but I have cut, copy, and paste. Delete, select all, print selection, search Google for cut. I mean, I can do a lot of things because I highlighted that word. Okay? So I double click on that, and now I leave my cursor over that blue highlighted word, and I use the right mouse, right? If I go away from it, well, it looks like it keeps the same thing. So it has to be over the highlighted word. Otherwise it thinks I want to do it somewhere else, right? So I've right mouse clicked, and I'm going to go to cut. And watch what happens. It goes away. It took away my cut word.
Yeah, but where did you get those from?
Where did I get these down here?
Yeah.
Okay. These down here are, let's see here, right here. So I know it's hard to see at the very bottom of the screen. And the only reason I used this right here was to make these larger for you to see. Okay? But you can change the font, just like in a word processor. You know, you have the different commands at the top. They put them here on the email. So this gives us a way to change the font, to add an attachment, pictures, right, or something. I forget what that one is. Put a smiley face in if you want to, right? Add a file from your online storage. Put a picture in. Send it at a certain time.
Oh, wait, and the other one is on.
This one right here. Oh, yeah, that's what that is. Thank you. This would be to put in a link to a website and put words on it, which is important for scams, too. We want to look and see where the link goes, right? Because I can say whatever I want to, the safest link in the world, and have it go to the darkest website in the world, right? So that's where you find the formatting, okay? So back to the cut, copy, paste, right? I'm going to undo it. I'm going to undo what I did. The great thing about a computer is it lets me undo or redo things, right? Yes. Just was curious if anybody's paying attention. Does that make sense? Okay. You undid the whole paragraph? That's okay. All right. So, you've been messing around a little bit with what you're trying to highlight, right? And I was showing you cut. As long as I highlight the word that I want to manipulate and keep that I-beam over the blue area, when I use the right mouse button, it brings up this menu. Notice up here, cut, copy, and paste. Notice for later, the letters that are underlined. Okay? But right now I'm going to click on cut. And we're going to watch that word cut disappear. There it goes. It's gone. Now, paste is the important one, right? I'm going to paste it right after this. I'm going to put a space, double space because it's period, right? I'm going to right mouse click. Now notice if I right mouse click over here, it moved the cursor. See, it moved it to be behind paste. So I got to be careful where I do that. So I'm going to hit escape to get away from it. Escape again. I'm going to click here. So the cursor is right here. 2 spaces after that period, and I'm going to say paste. And there's my word cut. If I want to do it again, I hit paste, and I hit paste, and I hit paste. And notice it even grabbed the space after it too. Isn't that nice? Now watch this, okay? The letters that we had into there are the keyboard shortcuts for doing that. So to cut, I would use the T, the C, and the P. Oh my, they changed the letters, Stacy. Cut is T. So this is the one, okay. Now I understand the error message I was getting. In Gmail, this is very different than everywhere else on the computer. Those commands, T, C, P, are only for this email. On Windows, cut, copy, paste is very simple. Control X for cut, Control C for copy, and then Control V for paste. And if you look at it, that's these keys right here, X, copy, paste. See? So these, X, copy, paste, right? Cut, copy, paste.
Wow.
Right? But these are different up here. This is the first time I've actually, realized, because because I ignore these now because I thought I knew them. Google has changed them for everybody. That's so special. I'm sure it means something else. But the way to learn the keyboard shortcut in a menu is whatever line is highlighted, that's how you do that, okay? So like if I were to go in here now, after I told you the keyboard shortcuts, and I go Control V, watch what happens. It pastes it in there, Control V, 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 right? And I'm going to highlight all of these. I double-clicked, and then I drag to get the rest of it. So I double-click to get the first word, right? So I don't have to worry about, did I click before the first letter or after the first letter? Because sometimes I'll cut off the first letter. Double-clicking on that first one lets it collect that whole thing. So then I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut, Control-V, and see what happens. It's going to give me a message, I bet. Cut is X. It did it. It worked. That's wild. That's what it's supposed to do. So I used Control, right? We use the power keys, the Control, I hold down, and I just tap the other letter that makes it a power command, right? So that's how I do it with the keyboard shortcut. I hold down Control, then I hit the ones that I want to cut, copy, or paste. Yeah. So let's do a copy, right? I've done the cut where I've cut it out. I'm just going to paste it in there once. Control V. Oh, it does all of them, right? Cut, cut, cut. I'm going to do copy now. Right mouse click, copy. It stayed there. It didn't remove it this time, right? I'm actually going to copy it with the space there too, so it makes it even better. And now I'm going to just go paste, right mouse click, paste. I'm going to do paste after the word copy. I'm going to put a space, and I'm going to paste the word in there, paste, copy. So if I use the keyboard shortcut, hold down the Control and hit V, 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 it's going to put copy, 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 right? V, 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 V.
Practice makes it.
It does. It's good to practice, and it's something you can use in everything you're writing on the computer. It works in every one of those programs. Yeah. So paste is the easy one, right? I'm going to copy that one. I'm going to go V, 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 V. Control V, 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 V. I'm still holding the Control button, and just every time I tap V, it puts that in there.
All right, I got confused.
That's okay.
All right, come on over here.
Practice it. So how do we send it? What's the last thing? We push that send button, right? You hit send. Send me an email is what I'm saying. Did you already turn it off?
Yeah,
Did you send it to me?
the other one, yeah.
The other one? Okay, good. Good, good, good.
I don't know.
No, you're fine. You're fine, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see you 2 weeks from now, right?
Yes.
Or we'll see you at the church in the middle of the week, right?
So I misspelled this word, I put
Okay.
Grady now.
Right.
I want to change the word
Okay.
from Grady to nice.
Okay. Double click the word Grady.
Oh,
There you go.
okay.
Now type the word nice
Now I could
space.
just click and drag, or I could
You
hit the
could.
delete button, right?
You could, yeah. But as soon as you type,
But I
it's
want
going
to
to
learn how to do
replace.
this thing here.
Right.
So now I want to hit the menu, right?
If you want to cut or copy it, you can.
Yeah.
But you don't need to keep that because it's
Well, I was going
misspelled.
to undo it.
There you go. You can do undo there, yeah.
Oh, it
There you
worked.
go.
Okay, now
Yeah.
it's nice.
Then type nice. Yeah, it's a good thing to practice with because you can figure out how the keyboard works too, right?
Okay, now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do either one of these words.
Okay.
So do I
Triple click.
triple click?
Do it faster with this one only.
Oh,
Yeah.
triple click this one.
There you go. So hold the mouse over that word. There you go.
Yeah.
So move the I-beam up over that word and triple click. There you go. It has everything. So now you can just hit backspace or delete and it'll remove all of it.
Okay, and now I can put it where I want.
Exactly. Isn't that cool? And wherever it's flashing, that's where it's going to type. So type in your message and hit that. Now, if you'd like me, sometimes I mess up. I'm not going to send this to me, right? All this funny stuff. But I'm going to come over here where it says discard. It's a little trash can. I'm going to click that. And it says discard down here in the bottom left. I said, okay. Just going to close it. I can undo it if I wanted to, right? And then bring it back. It's this little bottom right-hand corner. See down there? Discard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a trash can.
Uh-huh. There's a few other things. Default to full screen, plain text mode. Whole bunch of things you can do in there,
The
right?
whole thing is gone.
Yep. It gets rid of the whole thing. Did you send me one?
I didn't send it.
Oh, man.
I just eliminated it.
Well, you should send me one because that's part of our homework. So let's look for it over here then. Let's go to trash. Look on the left side here and look for trash. So you see how it has a scroll bar? You can use that middle roller thing right here. Let me show you this right here. It's kind of cool. Notice how I put this over here and it adds that little scroll bar right there, that one.
Oh, yeah.
Now if I have a scroll bar and I have a wheel like this, watch this, I can roll it. You're welcome, Amanda. It's good to see you. God bless you. I'm going to go down here to more.
You too, and thank you for the prayers.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll continue this week too.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'll let you know what I find out. There we go, trash. We're going to click on that. Oh. Oh, wow. It didn't save it at all, did it? Apparently delete means delete everything right now.
So I deleted it, didn't I?
There's this one. Oh, a couple you've got for me.
Those are old ones, aren't they?
Yeah. Wait, this one? Wait, is this it? Nope.
How about draft?
There you go. That's 2017. Yeah.
That's
It's a picture.
Yeah.
You can send it to me then, or to whoever you wanted it to.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
I never used Gmail. Now I think I'm
That's
gonna
right.
start using it.
It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can, it's pretty powerful when you think about all the information you could send or how you could correct things. And it doesn't have to be very detailed. Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Well, remember to sign out of your email. It's the main thing we want to do on a public computer like this. We're going to go to the upper right-hand corner right here where you have the little account, right?
That's my end, okay.
Yeah, you go down to it and then you say sign out of all accounts. Yes, you click on that little bar, that little emblem, and it shows,
Hit sign up.
right, sign out of, yeah, sign out, or does it say sign out of all accounts?
I just hit sign up.
Okay, yeah. Thank you,
All right,
Stacy,
I
for
can't
watching
wait
that.
to learn more.
There you go. And then to power off your computer is the other thing, right? Because we got to shut it down the right way.
Down the left-hand corner?
It, let me see here. Have I got that? Huh. Let me see here. I've got it. I know it's somewhere.
Yeah, and then there's a little,
Here we go.
mine has a power button.
Yes, that's right. That's what it is.
And it says update and shut down, or,
It has shutdown is the one you want. Yeah.
well, it says update and shut down.
Oh, does it? Go ahead and hit update and shut down. That'll be fine for us. Yeah. I'm trying to pull this in. There we go.
You guys are fine.
I hope so. I hope we're learning. Here it is right there. Yep. Boy, that's big, isn't it? There it is. Nope, that's not it either.
All right, give me your email address.
Yeah.
I'm gonna practice sending you some email.
Okay. Huh. Need to add that in. My email address?
Yeah.
You-
Add it, isn't it?
Yeah. It is Avid Time. All right.
Oh, it's little A.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't matter. If you do capitals, it's fine. Yeah, but it's all email defaults to it.
Gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
But I only have to put in Gmail.
You do when you're sending it to somebody, but when you log in, you don't have to put your whole email address in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, let's see here.
Working on updates, 22% complete.
Good. We'll take care of the rest of that, yeah. There we go. So I'm going to show you something, Nelson, because this is something you can use to catch up and practice whenever you want to. Let's see here. Make this. We're good there. Wait, does this have signing out? Okay. Oops, nope, that's just it. I need to sign out on all my lessons, apparently, huh? Okay. Let's see here. We're going to change the display settings so it's not so small. On that, oh, there we go. We go to,
Stacy, can I have
There
your
we go.
email address?
she's gonna, yep. Go ahead and cut our audio there, Christian, or James.
Do you cut the audio?
Cut our audio. Yep. Cut the audio. Awesome. Thank you guys for checking in. We'll catch you next lesson, and I hope you guys have a good week. Thank you.
Joey asked me that, and you said your cap is due.
And we're out.